Gav here from Mostyn Industries. Today we're looking at lowering your bike, front suspension, rear suspension. We're going to start off, this is a bobber that I've been doing for a customer. It's an SR500. We've just got the fork stanchions back. They've been re-chromed. They've come up a treat. There was a bit of rust where the seal went over, and obviously that's a roadworthy issue as well as just being annoying. So what we're going to do today is build a front set of forks up for an SR500. Very straightforward. Helps if you've got all the right tools, so things like some sort of clamp, whether or not you just use something like the old vise, or in this case we've got this, which is an excellent specifically for forks. This one's a bit old, but it still does the job. So first thing we need to do is, basically let's talk about what we've got. Obviously all the internals, fork lowering kit, there's this piece here. I'll explain that a bit later. Everything you need, make sure you have your oil. You're going to need probably half a litre. Half a litre is a good safe amount of oil. Make sure it's 10, 12 and a half, 15, whatever it is that, hopefully you figured it out for yourself. What works well for you, but it's always easy enough to change it later on. Let's start off. We get our fork leg. Now that goes in just like that, all the way down. So as I say, this is an SR500. There are some different bikes with slightly different styles. I know a couple of Hondas have what I consider a rather annoying one. I love the Yamahas, they're nice and easy. In this case, that just comes through there, you can see it moves easily. Another thing to check, which a lot of people miss, is how well does your fork leg actually run up and down. It's easy enough if it can get bumped or if someone's clamped it incorrectly. The outer leg will actually become an oval. Yeah, you can't have that. That can't be sticking around there. Not only does it make the bike erratic in handling, but it also wrecks the chrome on your fork leg. So, in this case, well, actually I better show you exactly, otherwise you're not going to see it. The fork lowering kit itself, I mean, if you've got the time and inclination, you can make it. Basically, this is it here. All it is, that's your original piece in there. This part here, which is 18 mil inside diameter, 25 mil outside diameter. This one is 64, 63 mil long. Now the only thing you've got to do is make sure you have some way of securing it in there. As you can see here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 little bolts. Obviously that sit flush or inside, you don't want them on the outside. So it's simple as that. You can actually, we'll see if we've got the technology, but you can, we sell these as a kit. One of our suppliers in Japan makes these specifically for the SR500, and so that can come in handy. So yeah, next thing, you've got that in. We're going to put that in like so, and actually, getting ahead of myself. What we need to do is put your brand new fork seal in. This is it here. Obviously the lip goes to the top. Just take note how you take the old one out as to how you're going to put the new one back in. That's obviously flush to the top, not going to be enough. Use something, hopefully, yeah, this will do the job. This is a 1 1/4 inch. Sorry for all the Australians that are hopefully watching this. I'm not going to bother converting it for you, but 1 1/4 inch cover. Now that's in. Looks good. Looks like it's left enough room to put the washer in. Let's say. Now just make sure this is far. Just have a bit of a prod around. Make sure that circlip is definitely in its. Yeah, in its place. Once again, circlips, if yours is old, rusty, I just did one the other day on a CV750, it was rusted out, just replace it, Don't bother trying to make something that doesn't want to work. It's your bike if you love it and you want to make it as good as you can. So why wouldn't you? All right, so we've got that in so far. We'll go through the rest of the process. We've got a bolt here for the base. I'm just going to do this up by hand. You should have a brass washer between the bolt and the fork leg itself. Spin this over. Sometimes this can be a bit tricky to find its home. And this isn't going to be one of those cases. So just do that up. So what I tend to do is I don't over tighten it just yet. There we go. Just I'm going to put oil in this shortly, so I do want it to be good enough that oil won't leak out, but it doesn't have to be. I double check at the end. That's actually pretty tight. I'm happy with that. Okay, so let's talk about oil. Clean. You can already see that it's got a lot less travel in it than it did before. In this case I'm using 15 weight oil. I'm doing that because as you can see I've got a bunch of oils here. 12.5, 15, okay. Now normally an SR500 takes 185 mil. In this case, I'll just put that underneath the cardboard, I actually measured it at 230 mil. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm assuming the person that built these the first time around knew what he was doing, he or she was doing. Alright, so we're looking good. Next thing we're going to do is, now if you leave that down, you may get a bit of a spillage. Lifting it up as high as it'll go. Pour this in slowly. You can get air bubbles, so look at that. Now, at its highest point, you can't see the oil. At its lowest point, it's about 40 mil down. Just make sure it's all in there. I'm done with that. Take a measurement of this. Let's say at its highest point. Oops. Try that again. A little bit more, 125 mil by the looks of it, from the top. So we're going to go with that. Obviously, different forks have different amounts. Check your manual. Ask someone who knows. Get your fork oil amount right. Look, in this case, I've just put the spring in. Now we've actually got, that won't go down now. Some of the old timers would know that we used to do stuff like this with coins. You put a 20-cent pieces in XS 1100 and only cost about $1.20 and stiffened up the springs a lot per side. So it's $2.40. It's a very expensive mod. In this case, we just got a bit of mild steel. Obviously, it was just a little bit. That's 25 mil exactly. It was just a little bit soft. So now we're just going to put the top in. Yours will be something like that, more than likely. It can have a nut on the outside, or it can be a recessed thing like that. Now what I'm going to try and do, this can be a bit tricky, especially when you've got a spacer, but just spin the leg around and push. No. Let's try it one more time before I get the tools onto it. Okay, easy as that. Oh. Only joking. It usually isn't too bad. In this case, I've got a nice little device like this, 17 mil, 19 mil, 22. That's the 70 mil on the top that works for me. So I can just put that in, spin that around, You don't have to overdo the top either. In fact, that's going to do me. That's just going to stop the oil from coming out. You can, if you've got a clamp like this, clamp the actual legs. I don't like doing that because it can mess up the chrome. What I'll do is when I reinstall the forks onto the bike itself, I'll go back and check it out. Now the customer wanted this. These are available for SR500s. They're a 35mm leg on all SR500s. Yeah, pretty sure. All it is another cover, so rather than putting the plastic cover over, we've got these nice billet aluminium ones. They're for sale on the website, but you don't need to hear that. This isn't supposed to be a plug. Alright, so to keep everything nice and clean, these just need a 1.5mm Allen key. Do them up evenly. You'll also notice one difference with this fork leg is that the actual, for the SRs, is the mounts for the guards have been removed. So someone's gone to the trouble of that. It wasn't us. And for our roadworthy rules, we're actually going to need to figure out how we're going to remount the fender, front guard. But look, there you have it. We've got a brace here, which is actually, eventually when I put that on, it separates there and it's going to go just underneath there and there. So I might actually use the guard for that. We've also got these little caps here. We sell those little stainless caps. Sit on like so. Yep. I'm just going to go over it, double check again. That's it. It really is that easy. What else can I tell you? Look, so that's the front fork wiring. Now that's lowered it by, as I said, whatever it was, 65mm. Yeah. In fact, what I might do. Yeah, by about 65mm. So, I mean, it's made a considerable difference. For the rear, what you can do as well is a smaller rear shock. An example of that would be this bad boy here. That's from, once again, our friends at Nitro Heads in Japan. That's 265mm. The other thing to look at is the side stand. This is a side stand for an SR500. That one's a NT1031, available through our store as well. If we've got the technology, it comes with a spring. We'll put up a link to that or something as well. Alright, well that's it, simple as that. Any questions, just put a comment below. This will be on YouTube, it'll be on our website. So yeah, any questions, or if you can't find the availability of anything I've showed you today, let me know. I'll help you out any way we can. Cool, thanks a lot.